Alrighty guys, 'tis I, ChrissieGirl. Welcome to part 19 of my LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7 playthrough. And we've just finished learning Agramenti. Kind of makes it obvious as to what's coming up next. The next level of the game. In Year 6. We're going to quit Hogwarts for a little bit. Go back to the Weasleys' house, the burrow. Don't know why they've abandoned Grimmauld Place all of a sudden. Actually, yes I do. It's because they think Snape... No, that's not it. I don't know. They've gone back to using the Weasley's house. Because at this point, they still think Snape's on their side. But anyway, let's go back to the burrow anyway. For those of you who've seen the book and, seen the film or read the book, you'll know what's coming up next. This part is a little bit longer than what I intended, but I actually did start playing the next level, and then I had to quit because, certain particular reasons. I couldn't see that stage through to the end, so I quit that stage and had to start it again. All over Hogwarts you'll see these symbols, just like of plants and stuff you can manipulate. I believe in the courtyard, the entrance courtyard thing to the right. Not this courtyard, but the one next to it that we just came from. You can use Agramenti, or no, not Agramenti. It's a Weasley box, isn't it? A Weasley box to get these vines up into the roof of Hogwarts, and you can explore that. I can't remember what's up there. I did record it, but as I say, I just edited it because I recorded it before my second attempt, and I wanted to keep things going as seamlessly as possible, so I'm just not bothering to put it in there. So let's go back to see the Weasleys. It is Christmas after all. At least I'm presuming it is in the game. Let's hop on board and go back to see the Weasleys. This ought to be a good visit. A nice, calm, non-eventful visit to the Weasleys. I do kind of like the load-in screen for Year 6. It's kind of neat. Harry's all, oh, look at me. I am now a potions master. While poor Ron and Hermione struggle. But anyway, back at the Weasleys. Remus is acting very strangely. A werewolf washing dishes. For those of you who don't know, Tonks and Remus Lupin are in a relationship. Well, at the end of Year 6 they begin their relationship in the books, but in the films they're already in a sort of relationship without any explanation. As to, showing off any sense of doubt on Lupin's part. I will say one thing for the sixth film. Ginny seems a lot more passive than what I imagined her to be in the book. In the book she seemed a lot more feisty, but in the film she seems a lot more passive and calm. And the whole tying shoelaces thing, some people find that sweet. I just find that a bit cheesy. You can show your love for somebody without tying their shoelaces or doing things like that. And I'll admit, I love the Harry-Ginny relationship in the book, but in the film it did seem a bit wooden in comparison. It's such a pity, really. I had every faith that the actors would have done it very well. But alas, was not to be. So anyway, we're in Arthur's workshop, with Arthur, of course. He wants to put 3 items of clothing into the washing machine. Being that I'd already played this part of the stage before, I kind of got the hang of it much quicker than what I did the first time I played it, so there's going to be less faffing around. You'll see broken bits of machinery that only Arthur can repair, and you're going to need him to repair it in order to get out of here. Oy vey. Plenty of things to zap and plenty of studs to collect. Oh my goodness. There's rubber ducks, I think. I'm assuming there are rubber ducks around, and if you zap all 4 of them, you get something out of it. There we go. Hogwarts crest piece. Arthur knows Reducto, so, you know, you can use Reducto on that cupboard. In the meantime, I'm just going to repair a few things to get things moving much quicker. There are 2 things that need repairing. The second thing, admittedly, is rather difficult to see because of how dark it is. But, hey-ho. Yay! I love how studs just seem to randomly fly all over the place. And there's another item of clothing to go into the washing machine. Oh, Arthur, you domestic. I always thought it would be Molly doing all this stuff. And Reducto that, and that's the last item of clothing with the spider web. Thank God Ron isn't here, he'd do his nut. There we go. I don't know why the game is saying to use Agguamenti. There's no reason to. Really, no reason to whatsoever. And Ginny's all like, ooh, I have cake. Cake is good. Gimme some. Oh, well. Oh, Ginny, that's a good waste of food there. Waste of good food. Now it's probably hit the ground and it's all dirty. Oh, wait. It's got hair in it. Still not good enough to eat now. It's got ginger hair in it. And no, it isn't the fact that it's ginger hair that's in it that makes it bad. It's the fact that there's hair in it at all that makes it bad. So don't take that seriously. Or don't take that the wrong way, I should say. Anyway, this is one disappointing aspect of this stage that I didn't really go much on. Harry and Ginny have just gone off to fight the Death Eaters. Kind of makes you wish we were with them, don't it? Fighting the Death Eaters instead of being here. What have we got to do while we're here? We've got to build a cart. Yeah. Harry and Ginny are off fighting Death Eaters and we've got to build a poxy cart. Oh, how I long to be with Harry and Ginny right now. Fighting Death Eaters. It's got to be more exciting than this. It just feels like it puts you out of the action a little bit. Instead of, you know, implementing you into it. This is probably one of the few cases where I have had a problem with this. It doesn't occur very often, but this is the main example that comes to mind. It is kind of disappointing, but hey-ho. At least this section is rather straightforward to get done quickly. You're going to need to use Lupin in this part quite a bit. Lupin can transform into a werewolf whenever, really. I don't think he could have done that in the past section that we did with young James and young Sirius, but you can here. When Remus is in werewolf form, he can dig and he can also use super strength. So he's a very, very handy little character to have. But I do have a problem. When it comes to transforming, if you want to swap characters, you have to change Remus Lupin back. You can't stay in werewolf form. It would have been so easy, so much more beneficial, I think, to just be able to stay in werewolf form with Lupin. But no, you've got to change back before you can switch characters. I think Tonks deserves the honour of Spectre Specs here. Otherwise I probably won't play as her at all. Tonks is awesome. But yeah, that was one thing I liked about years 1 to 4 over this game. The way they handled the pets and the animal system. It just worked much better. Whereas in this game it's kind of annoying because if like you get a pet out, you still need to use that pet. That pet has to be recalled if you want to switch a character. There's no other no other way about it. And it's quite annoying because you are going to need to switch to Lupin's werewolf form quite a few times here in this stage. But yeah, well, these things can't be helped. What's done is done. Flowers, studs, give me. Yeah, fill that up with water. This is the cart you've got to build, by the way. But we need Arthur to help us. For whatever reason, Arthur was at the doorstep with us, and now he's not. He's over there. He's trapped. He's trapped in a bathtub, I think. You'll see in a minute. Get rid of these tiny flames. These tiny flames give you a ton of studs. Yeah, he's trapped in a bathtub, surrounded by flames. When I'm pretty sure he was at the doorstep with us. So how the hell did he get there? That's what I'd like to know. Anyway, Lupin, get to work, start digging. And that should get rid of the flames surrounding Arthur. Though why the hell would you want to take a bath outside, for that matter? That's another question I'd like to ask. Why is there a bathtub outside? That's a bit of an odd place for it to be. Anyway, levitate this wheel over here. Oh god, Death Eaters are here. Ah, crud. Get to work, Arthur. We'll cover you. Oh, of course they won't. That's one thing about the Lego games that's kind of disappointing. The AI of the characters that help you, the characters that you're not controlling, they don't help you all that much, to be honest with you. Like, it would be nice if Molly, who's currently on this cart thing with me, would actually fire some water off herself at the flames, but no, she won't. And they won't fly you about either. If you want to put out large flames, you've got to do it yourself. You've got to swap over just to put the large flames out. There's nothing over here that you really need. So you want to head in the direction of the bathtub. In order to find Harry and Ginny. Okay. Okay then, student in peril. Okay, I suppose there was a good reason to come over here. Probably not good enough, but, you know, still a reason. I used to think you had to exit that way, but you don't. You have to exit over this way. But I still can't help but feel very put out of the action. It just would have been much nicer to be with Harry and Ginny right from the get-go, just chasing down Death Eaters. And I do not need to be lifted up. I'm going to have to turn it around. Oh, for goodness sake. Die, you stupid flame. Oh, for goodness sake. Get out of the way, you stupid cart. Aquamenti's a good spell for knocking back Death Eaters, if I remember rightly. I think all of them are kind of good spells in their own way, though. Death Eaters only take one hit and then they're knocked back. Anyway, now we're outside of that. No longer making poxy carts. Let's find Harry and Ginny and see what they're up to. See if they've encountered any Death Eaters. See if they're dead. Ay vey. you still need to use looping around this area, so still going to moan about the fact that you need to switch back into his human form before switching to a different character. Excuse me. Aye, plenty of things to zap about in this stage. Yeah, yeah. This stage is kind of cool, I suppose, but as I say, the fact that we're not with Harry and Ginny right from the get-go kind of disappoints me. Like, they couldn't have just gone through some sections like this with Harry and Ginny and stuff everyone else. Well. I did do like I say, I don't know if I've mentioned this already, I did do a recording of the original, not the original, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 video game. I didn't do Part 1 because I haven't finished Part 1, to be honest. I haven't got the patience to finish Part 1. Maybe one day I'll go back to it, who knows. But Part 2 I have finished before, and it was quite fun because my brother was around as well, and there was quite a few funny bits that made us both giggle a little bit. Like the way they fell when they got hit by Petrificus Totalis in slow motion. I still prefer to play Deathly Hallows Part 2 over the Order of the Phoenix, to be honest with you. And probably even Half-Blood Prince too, because both those games are so repetitive. Not to say that Deathly Hallows Part 2 isn't repetitive, but it's just more enjoyable in the whole, I think, than Order of the Phoenix and maybe Half-Blood Prince. Okay, we should just be about close to the area where we need to be. Werewolf! Aroo! I love how Lupin can just change to a werewolf at will. If he could actually do that, change into a werewolf at will, he'd never ever have to worry about the fact that he was a werewolf. Who would care? You just choose not to transform into one. What is he? Is he actually a proper werewolf at all in this game, or is he more like Jacob from Twilight, where he's not a werewolf at all, more like a morpher? An animorph. An animorph, only nowhere near as cool. Anyway, we're nearly there, I think. Death Eaters are starting to really bug me. How the hell do they know where the Weasleys are anyway? If that was the case, then Harry would never have been allowed to return there after today, and yet he was able to in Year 7. Ministry spells, yeah, that's it, ministry spells. I'm asking questions that I already know the answer to. How stupid can I get? There's not really much to say at the moment. It's just zapping things until we reach Harry and Ginny, where we get a sort of boss fight. I say sort of because it's a boss fight that's gonna get repeated a few times. Excuse me. Okay, enough stud madness. Let's go and help Harry and Ginny because they need it. And let's be honest, we're adults, so we're cool. Okay. No finding out what, we were going to dig up then. Let's help Harry and Ginny out. Uh-oh, Bellatrix Lestrange, Sirius Black's murderer. And Fenrir Greyback, her companion. Fenrir Greyback happened to have been the werewolf that bit Remus Lupin and made him into a werewolf, so I suppose there's some kind of irritation maybe there. But then again, Fenrir Greyback bit loads of kids apparently. At least that's what I remember hearing or reading. Anyway, in this particular fight, you're going to have Death Eaters coming at you. And then Bellatrix is going to jump on that rock and she's going to chuck stuff at you. The first two things she chucks at you, you're not going to be able to throw back at her. But the final thing she does throw at you, use Wit Leviosa and chuck it back at her. And then zap her with a good spell. That'll take off Heart of Life. Actually, I don't think zapping her with a spell will necessarily help at all. But it makes me feel better. And then you just got to deal with Death Eaters again. Greyback's going to appear. He's going to try and grab onto one of you. Presumably the one you're playing as. And yeah, he'll kill you if you're not careful. See, he's latched onto Harry. And it looks so wrong what he was doing to him there. Honestly, it looks so wrong. Bellatrix only has 3 bars of health though. But really it all depends on how long it takes to get rid of this poxy bloody werewolf. Okay. Come on, Bellatrix. You know you want to. You know you want to throw stuff at us. So just do it. Here we go. This is just repetitive in a way because you just got to avoid the first two, but you know it's more imaginative than dueling her outright, I suppose. But you are going to have to face this kind of boss fight again and again. One more time in Year 7 with another character, and then you'll have to fight Bellatrix the same way again later on as well. So this fight does get reused a few times, or this particular strategy of a fight gets reused a few times. And I did not mean to die. Stupid Harry. Come on, kill the Death Eaters, you know you want to. It's irritating because in the last hit, Bellatrix is going to throw stuff at you, and you're also going to have to deal with Fenrir Greyback coming at you as well. And Death Eaters and stuff, and that can be irritating because it's going to put you off of throwing, you know, being able to aim back at Bellatrix because you're having to stop yourself from being hit or molested by Fenrir Greyback. But with that, Bellatrix is down. She's going to flee. What was the point of her even coming here? And yeah, that was that level. Oh, Ron. Always eating, even in times of crisis. You pig. So that's that level complete. I like the fact that the level complete back of the screen, whatever, looks different than what it did in Year 5. It's not all clouds and blue skies. It's cloudy and definitely a sign of darker times to come. I think that's what they were going for. But yay, I got a True Wizard rating. And with that, another student in peril rescued as well. So obviously that's 3 gold bricks. That's not too bad at all. And with that, I will see you guys in the next part. Catch you then.